Hey church, I'm Colleen, and I'm honored to share with you as we continue our Summer on the Mount series. Today we're going to be reading out of the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 43 through 45a. Let's read it together. It says this, Jesus says, "You have heard the law that says, 'Love your neighbor and hate your enemy.' But I say, love your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you. In that way, you'll be acting as true children of your Father in heaven." Oh, this is a hard one today. You know, in studying this, it was so interesting. Love your neighbor comes from the Levitical law in Leviticus 19:18. But that added on, the hate your enemy, was an added on verbiage by tradition. It actually wasn't in the original law. It was love your neighbor as yourself. Yet Jesus says, love your enemies. You know, Jesus came to fulfill the law, not to abolish it, not to no longer do you have to, but now do even more so. Not just love your neighbor, but love your enemies. Pray for them. You know, I think that's amazing because we remember in Luke where it talks about who is my neighbor? You know, that you would love those who are not like you, and maybe those who don't like you, maybe those who aren't kind to you, or they harm you with their words or their actions. You see, as believers, we must love the people who persecute us, and we have to pray for them to see God in us. It's easy to love and pray for people we like. That doesn't separate us from an unbeliever, or it doesn't separate us as children of God, because anyone can love someone who likes them back, right? But we are called not only to love those who are easy to love, but to also love our enemies. Maybe to love those who are actively harming you with their actions, with their words, with their lives. Those who are persecuting. That's a heavy word that maybe we don't all understand it, but for those who are hurting us. You see, loving our enemies goes the next level and shows the transformative power of God's love in our lives. We don't love others by conjuring it up. We don't love others just by trying to. We can love our enemies because we once too were an enemy of God and he loved us. That's Romans 5:10, that when we were enemies of God, he loved us and showed us that love by dying on the cross for us. So we can love not just those who like us, but our enemies, because we too were an enemy of God and he shared his love with us by dying on the cross for us. So today, your challenge is not just to be nice, but to ask God to be nice to them, to pray for your enemies, to pour love on your enemies, not just those who like you, but to really pray for God to show them his love through you. So today, take some time and pray for those who maybe are mistreating you, maybe who are harming you. I don't know if that's a family member or a coworker or someone who just isn't to you a neighbor, a loving neighbor, but one who maybe is hurtful to you, who has betrayed you, who has harmed you, and praying for them that God would help you love them like he does. Great day.